One of the things I do on my channel is that if someone makes an assertion, I take it dead serious and ask them to prove it. Of course, they don't do it because they know I'll go ahead and double check it. So I'm going to review a claim made about failed welder David Wynn Miller, who became a fake Federal Postal Court judge. The point of this was for him to issue fake judgments and fake summons and fake everything to harass people. Form of paper terrorism. This is something conspiracy theorists love. They eat it up because they want the ability to torment people because they feel that the world is tormenting them when they have to pay back a debt they agreed to pay, or pay a parking ticket when they were parking in an illegal way, unlawful. He filed fake unenforceable judgments at one time that claimed that he had won some sort of victory by being a judge that was also acting as jury and executioner. Nobody gets a jury by their peers. It's only him. So he's an autocratic, judgmental witch hunter. So the assertion is he has his own banking system by somebody. And also he put 50 judges and lawyers in prison, but of course nobody will name them. Now the problem with this, of course, is that they'll either have to come up with names that are so obscure that nobody can double check it so that they can always say I didn't disprove it. This isn't my first rodeo with a bunch of clowns. Or they'll claim that people who were in jail for something unrelated were put in jail by him when that's not what happened. This is always how it goes. Someone also said, I'm pretty sure they're still in prison, which means you didn't bother checking anything or don't understand what you're talking about. So this video will be a thorn in the search engine optimized side of anybody pushing the subject. Now someone said, did you finish school? Are you not able to understand parse, syntax, quantum grammar? That sort of thing, which is something they made up out of their asses, specifically him and another person, because they can't win a court case. So they just invented some fake language and started babbling that in court. David Wynn Miller has lost apparently every single case he's had in court, which I find amazing. I'm pretty sure he won at least one or two cases. That's probably what emboldened him. In other cases, pun intended, the case was thrown out because it was meritless, and he brought it. Well, it's a victory for me. You're the one who brought the case and lost it. You just don't want to admit it was lost. This guy is guilty in my judgmental court. Judge Dredd versus judgmental. Another person said, you look like you're in drugs, etc. You won't or can't provide a list of people that he has thrown in jail. Well, he's done hundreds of people. No, you claim 50 people were thrown in jail that were judges and lawyers. In order for that to be something that would be real, other people would have to be able to detect it. Well, it was a secret prison sentence. There's a joke on The Onion. It's a story. A mass murder was committed only in the mind of one of the employees at this building. When other people were asked about it, they said, what? David Wynn Miller, if you've never heard of him before, that's the reason. He's ineffectual. He's impotent, not important. And everyone who's a denizen or follower of him at one point, including subsequent idiots, will make the same claim. I'm powerful because I can have this effect. What is that effect? I'm not going to tell you. I'm only the invisible man if you can't see me, if you're not looking my direction. So anyway, David Wynn Miller, a failed welder, because no one will provide proof that he was a decent welder. I know that sounds like a preposterous thing to say, but I'm going to put that in the video, in the title, because it'll piss people off, and obviously it gets to the point. The guy makes a claim. I mean, this is a boring, unambiguously simple claim. He was a welder at one time. He worked as a person who joined pieces of metal together. And later on, he decided to make himself into a Federal Postal Court judge, which is not something that you can become because you decide to. He made a claim that's not legally valid or important. And no, the government doesn't have to prosecute you to prove that you're not something. You have to prove you are something. And if you try to, you're impersonating a judge and you go to jail. The guy's also lost a bunch of court cases, and actually I think he's been jailed a couple of times. He's a stereotypical example of an obnoxious, miserable little monster, just like all the other assholes that support him. All of you are this close to being that obnoxious jerk up the street that mows his lawn at 2 a.m. just because you want to. Or worse, the kind of guy who says, I am judge and jury and I can judge you and punish you, and shows up and shoots people at their business. Every one of you is the same kind of person at that point, if you won't just do something simple here. Stop claiming you have the right to judge other people and punish them or persecute them because you feel like it. That's all this is about. This is about being some sort of asshat about that. I've only dealt with a few people who've started screaming in my face, I have authority over you and blah, blah, blah. And doing it at the top of a staircase, I've made sure that I live at the top of a staircase a couple of times, is a really stupid tactical move. Gravity doesn't give a fuck what your position is, but it'll induce one. These are the kind of people who will cross state lines to find you and pick a fight in your yard while filming themselves so they can get you to punch them. These are hecklers. These are assholes. All of them. The same species of subhuman monsters that deserve no respect, that are not Christians, that are not patriots. They're not right. They're not about truth. They're about being assholes. And yeah, I had a whole clown car full of shitheads show up today. I just deleted their comments because they were off topic, number one. Number two, most of it was their little emotional attacks these little vampires want, where they come along and say, I'm going to say something nasty about you and get you to react. Okay, here's your reaction. Again, a video titled with David Wynn Miller's name in it, saying that he is a fake Federal Postal Court judge, and that he never made an enforceable judgment of any kind because he doesn't have a right to, of, by, and for the people. We appoint them, or someone we put in charge appoints them. He has no authority over anybody else. And you can't even prove he was a welder. So your task, if you want to, I'm also going to put in that he lied about jailing 50 judges and lawyers. Because he did. Unless otherwise noted, he lied. Because he doesn't have the ability to do that. If he was working as a lawyer at one time, he might have been able to do that. But unless you produce a list of the individuals and court documents, real ones, not something off his website where he just made up shit, real court documents that prove these people served any time in jail because of him as a judge, because that's what he claims. Him being the judge that decided this in a fair court where each side had representation and someone was allowed to have a jury trial. Oh no, these were done in absentia. That's a fancy word for it. None of those criteria were met, and you were too chicken shit. By the way, I'd like to point out some sovereign citizens at one time really did inform someone that they were going to be tried and convicted in a court. And the trouble is they didn't realize the guy was in the area, but he got the message because someone sent him a message like, okay, he showed up there and they didn't realize that holding their little court in a building, just a random building, inviting someone, he walked in, they didn't know it was him. They didn't even know what he looks like. He just got up and said, yeah, I'm here. What? They didn't want him to show up to his own trial. And he's like, I'm here. You're not legally permitted to demand that I don't represent myself. And when they got froggy, a couple of people found out about gravity. Now, of course, you have to prove me wrong about that. Please. So anyway, no one has to prove this person right or wrong. You made an assertion on my channel that he had 50 people jailed when that's not really a possibility, but okay. He also misspelled the word and. I don't fucking know. Anyway, if you want to post these sort of things to my channel, provide a list of people, time and date stamps, and docket numbers. You guys are obsessed with, well, we have to do the filing perfectly, but you don't care to do it when it would provide proof? Really? Wow. That's like the guys who said, oh yeah, cement was thrown on us, but nobody took a picture or took a sample of any of it. Nobody provided any proof. Suddenly, people don't care about proving something because they're just morally right, and they're lying through their fucking teeth. Just like you guys do. You'll always be this. Everybody, literally everybody, no matter how shitty of a person they are, is better than you. Because they don't go around looking for someone to pick a fight with like a miserable little bitch. And on that note, over the last week or so, YouTube has seen fit to shut down a bunch of channels without reason. The bot has gone nuts again, so everybody's channel is in danger. My channel told me I have to give a phone number and a bunch of shit. You have to reassess your channel and blah, blah, blah. And I just skipped it. the bot's going crazy. So if you see a bunch of weird crap on YouTube, it's the bot doing it. Hal has gone insane. Google's bot routine, which I'm nicknaming Hal, has gone batshit insane again. It's just auto-flagging people without even giving a reason anymore. But, a bunch is only, half a dozen people I've heard about. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that.